Welcome everybody to John Ski Writes. I'm your host John Ski, and in today's video we're going to do a book review on Room. So Room is written by Emma Donoghue. Sorry if I mispronounced your surname there. And I've never read anything like this book. I love this book. I think it was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. It's an amazing book. It was recommended to me by someone I used to work with, and I was told the sort of premise of the book and how it's from a 5-year-old's perspective. That's how the book is written. But I wasn't expecting what happened in this book. So my favourite books are Harry Potter. Obviously, we've just done a book review series on them. So I'm going to try to be spoiler free, but at the same time encourage you to read the book. So before we start, there are some upsetting things in this book. This book is based basically around a woman who is kidnapped and taken by a guy, and she is sexually assaulted by this guy for many years. She ends up pregnant and has his child, obviously, and then the book is based around that 5-year-old child. So if that's something that may upset you, maybe don't watch this video. Thank you for your support, but maybe don't watch that because I don't want to upset anybody. But the book itself, I say, is based around that 5-year-old child that comes from that, and it's absolutely fantastic. The book, obviously not what happens, but the book is absolutely fantastic. So we're going to jump into the review now and what I actually thought about it and things that were written in it, which were really pulling at my heartstrings and really got the emotions going. I'm not going to lie, I am pretty emotional in every sense. For I'm happy. When I'm happy, I'm like a puppy dog. I'm jumping over the wall, and you know, when I'm angry, I'm Hulk smash angry. You know, and when I'm sad, like it really hits me like a juggernaut, and I'm like wanting to cry my eyes out. I don't care admitting that. Oh man, I'll cry. Great. But this book had all my emotions going, like from the rage to the, oh my God, that's amazing how she's written that, to oh my God, that child, like to, oh my God, I'm so sad. I'm nearly at the point of tears. You know, it really does put all your emotions. And if you're an emotional reader and you really feel the characters and you feel what they're going through in the story, then this is a really, really good book for you, and I highly recommend it. The book obviously starts out where they are in Room, as he calls it. It is, I'm not going to say where it is and what happens, but basically they're in this room. They live in this little room with a bed, a toilet, bathroom. It's not a lot to the room. It is a tiny room. And they live in this room, and they breathe every day in this room. And then every now and then they'll get a visit from a man named Old Nick. That is the woman's captor. That is how it all started, effectively, with her being kidnapped and taken a few years before the book started. And the boy just knows him as Old Nick. And it's really, really strange. Like when he visits, the boy sleeps in a cupboard, in a wardrobe. It's just so sad. And he's not allowed to sort of, the mother doesn't want Old Nick, as he calls him, having anything to do with the boy, obviously. So he goes in the cupboard when he comes to visit for their sessions, shall we say. Throughout the book, like they go through like a day-to-day routine. For the first half of the book is pretty much day-to-day routine, and then something happens, which again I won't go into it in too much detail, but it does happen, and I won't tell you whether they get out, whether they don't get out, whether they're happy, maybe they don't even live. But the book had me on tenterhooks all the way through. There was so much emotion, and for me, I mean, I love Harry Potter. I love Lord of the Rings. I love that sort of fantasy style readings and books. And I love them. I go through so much emotion through them, but not like this. Like that is all like, oh, I love it. Oh, it's so good. It's so fun. This was insanely good. This is written from a 5-year-old's perspective about how he is being held captive effectively in a room with his mother for his whole life, effectively. And all he knows is this room. Like he doesn't know anything else. To write that, just to me, is so imaginative, but also so, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, but this old man who clearly is his father, but has no interaction with his son normally. He brings them a gift every Sunday, like a Sunday gift sort of thing. And that's like not showing that he cares, and I'm not praising him as a character for any way whatsoever. He's an arsehole, scumbag, and I would love nothing more to put a shotgun to his head. But at the same time, it's weird that he doesn't care about them clearly, but he kind of does, and it's sick. In my opinion, it's sick. But again, that's because the characters are written so well, and you feel so into the book when you read it, or I did, that I hate him so much. And I hope he gets all to its coming to in the future, whatever happens. And it's fantastic, and I'd love to see a second book, not a follow-up, because I think this one is, I mean, I'll be honest, like, at the very end of the book, I was hoping for something different, not necessarily more, but something different to happen. So you read it, you be the judge, you see if you think you like the ending. I'm not saying I don't like the ending, but I wanted something different to happen at the end. But maybe they could do a second book, like years in the future, maybe his perspective, the 5-year-old child's perspective, but as a grown-up, where he's asked about it or interviewed about it. I think that'd be a really, really cool follow-up, where, again, it's from his perspective, but he's a grown-up now, and how he sees it now, knowing everything and what's actually happened theoretically, compared to what he thought and what he knew as a child. You know, how his opinions and things differ on the matter, and his opinions and what he thinks on old Nick and his mum and how it was all handled and stuff. So that'd be quite interesting to see, you know, what has happened. Like, so yeah, tried not to put too many spoilers in there. There's little tidbits in there that you can hopefully encourage you to read it. I honestly think this is a fantastic book, and I will definitely think I'll read again in the future. So if anyone wants to borrow it that lives nearby, feel free, you can borrow it and you can read it, but I want it back because it's something I definitely want to read in the future. So guys and girls, go out there. Room by Emma Donoghue. It's a fantastic read. It's something that I would never have read if it wasn't suggested to me. I think it was, I'm not sure how much it was actually. I bought it on Amazon. I can't remember how much it was. It's not overly expensive, and definitely great value for money. Definitely, the book is fantastic. It is about 400 pages long, I think, and there's a reaction to it on almost every page. Like, it is absolutely phenomenal read. So if you want to read something different, a bit outside your your norm, then pick this book up, read all about his story, this 5-year-old boy who lives in a room, as he calls it, find out where it is, what it is, find out all the little tidbits of how it happened, how did him and his mum end up being in that room. You find out throughout the book. It's a really heartwarming scene where she basically has to tell him sort of how it happened and how they're in this room and why they're in this room and why old Nick is a bad guy. So it's fantastic. I really hope you enjoy it and read it as much as me. If you have read it, leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Would you like to see a follow-up similar to what I've suggested, or something different, or do you think it's good as a standalone? Because as a standalone, it's fantastic, but I would just maybe like to see a follow-up in the future where he's grown up and he's, I don't know, got kids himself, maybe married, got a good life, and he just looks back at how he viewed the situation then compared to how he view it now. Yeah, so anyway, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, sorry if it's triggered anything emotionally for you guys, anything bad in the past. I do apologise, but I wanted to do this review on this book because I think it's absolutely fantastic book. The way she's written it, it's a very sensitive subject, obviously, and she did a great job, and written it from a 5-year-old perspective as well, which I think is genius. I don't think I could ever do anything like that, even as a skilled writer, let alone right now at the beginning of my career. So well done to Emma. Fantastic writing. It's a great book, and I'd say it's a must read. So yeah, go out and read that. Thank you very much, guys. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate that. Like the video, and have a good day. Thank you very much. See you soon.